Did he say anything, or?
I need to talk to you about something.
Ah, there we go. This is what we were trying to do a couple of days ago. Trigger this man's companion quest. What do you got?
Any day now? Caesar's going to try to march across Hoover Dam and kick NCR out of the Mojave. We're getting caught up in something important out here. Hell, after how you handled Benny, you're practically right in the middle of all this. I know I'm just along for the ride, but it's made me think about the past and how I might be able to help out.
What are you talking about?
I wasn't always with the followers, or with the NCR. My late father was an officer in a group called the Enclave.
Ooh.
A remnant of America's pre-war
Yep,
government.
we know about the
Memories
Enclave.
being short around here, not a whole lot of people remember them. But they did bad things. Terrorized communities, kidnapped people.
Yep.
Eventually someone stopped them. I was born a few years later at a military base on the coast.
That was us. He's talking about us. He's talking about us and our actions in Fallout 2. This is awesome. These are both interesting questions. Where did the Enclave go? What happened in Navarro? Let's say that. What happened in Navarro? If you don't remember, Navarro was a location in Fallout 2 where we had to go. It was basically an Enclave base, and we had to go there to get blueprints for their vertibird, which is their basically a helicopter that they use for combat and stuff like that. So we got the blueprints for the Brotherhood of Steel, so that way they could make vertibirds, which we then saw in Fallout 3. So it's nice to see that those made a connection at some point. But I want to know what happened in Navarro, because I don't think we blew it up or anything, but...
After the Enclave's command structure fell apart, it was only a matter of time before Navarro was overrun by NCR forces. My mother and I left with some of the troopers from my father's old unit, the same people I've kept in contact with over the years. Anyone who didn't get out was killed by the NCR.
Oh.
Even some of the ones who escaped were eventually hunted down by the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah. Okay. So where did the Enclave go?
A lot of different places. I only know what I was told. Some of them were cut down by the NCR and the Brotherhood. Some of them went east.
Yep, Fallout 3.
My mother never told me what happened to my father, but she and I went south with some others and integrated into the NCR. When the NCR learned that Enclave personnel had integrated, we kept moving to the fringes. It's one of the reasons why I wound up out here.
Pretty interesting story. Also, like, the Enclave has pretty much been non-existent in this game, which is a shame, but hopefully this quest leads to more answers, because I will definitely do this quest. Especially if it gives us answers about the Enclave. Where are you going with all this?
The Enclave did a lot of bad things, but there were good people at Navarro. Good people with a lot of experience. Not many of them are alive anymore, but I think they can make a difference in the fight against Caesar.
Do you want them to help NCR?
That's a hard question to answer. I know I don't want the Legion to take Hoover Dam.
Same.
So militarily, yes, I want them to help NCR. If possible, I'd like to figure out a way to help the NCR win Hoover Dam without holding New Vegas.
Okay, say no more, I'll do it.
Great. I'd like you to talk to the old-timers, the Remnants.
The
I don't think I can
Remnants.
convince them by myself. To them, I'm still a kid. But you're a big part of what's happening out here. When you talk to them, they'll understand how important this all is. I've kept in contact with them over the years, so I know where you can find them. But I doubt they'll open up to you unless I come along. I know I'm not always the most serious guy around, but this means a lot to me. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know how well they're gonna take it to, you know, a guy in power armor coming up to them. The arcade convinced the Remnants to unite for one last battle. Asked Dr. Henry to come to the Remnants reunion. Daisy Whitman, Cannibal Johnson, Orion Moreno. I don't know if these are people we've met. These are on past Enclave people. They're not. They don't actually all live in one area. Okay. That's how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. Okay. Whoa, they're at all kinds of places here. Cannibal Johnson's Cave. Novak. Okay, so most of these people are like, Most of these people are already, like, out in places. Okay. Alright, well, let's go to the locations that we know that we've already been to. So we'll do that. This is exciting. I approve of this. Okay. So the plan is we're going to take care of Gannon's quest first. Hopefully it's not too long. Then we will continue on with the Yes Man. We got to go back to Fortification Hill and check out the bunker there. And then from there, probably, you know, it gets closer and closer to Hoover Dam. So, you know, I've got plenty of time today. If we have to go 4 hours or so, we can definitely do it. But today will be the last day of this game. Been playing this for almost 2 months straight. I think we're just a little over 7 weeks, and we're up to 96 hours, so basically 97, I would say. Let's see, are we at 97 now? No, okay. Alright, but we gotta go talk to Doc Henry. Marcus. That would have been cool to get, like, Marcus as a companion in this game. Of course, they probably wouldn't do it because you got to do that in Fallout 2, but in my playthrough, I didn't use them. Because back then, Fallout companions were a lot more annoying than they are in the later games. Especially ones that have miniguns and just friendly fire and can destroy your companions. So Doc Henry was a Enclave guy then, huh? I see you took the Night Stalker away. Come here, sir.
Is there something else I can do for you?
Arcade Gannon has asked me to gather all former members of the Enclave in the Mojave.
I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over
Awesome.
to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it.
Friends. How many of us have them?
Doc Henry always was
Friends.
a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans
Ones we
or
can
dogs.
depend on?
He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea. The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed.
His work was what mattered to him.
Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world. Maybe it's enough just to do good for the short time that we're here. No one's going to sing Doc Henry's praises when he's gone. But he's probably saved more lives than I ever will.
Okay, cool.
Is there something else I can do?
We didn't say anything else. Okay, but he'll meet us there. Alright. Cool. So we're going to keep going to locations that we've already been to. And all that stuff. I guess we'll do a... let's do a hard save here as well. Probably should have did it before all that stuff, but that's whatever. Okay. There's a guy in West Side that we can go and do. There's somebody in Prim. Or Novak, I mean. Let's go to Novak and do that one. Who's in Novak that I need to talk to? Technology be controlled by the Wasteland. Brotherhood still wages a long bloody war against the NCR. Despite superior equipment and training, the Brotherhood eventually went into retreat. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I'm assuming that NCR has a larger group of people than the Brotherhood, but I don't know. I don't know about that. So who are we supposed to get here? Somebody in this motel room at the end. Oh, it's this pilot lady. That's what, she was the one that told us about, it was sort of a reference to Fallout 2's Klamath vertibird.
Prim has a new sheriff.
So she's the
That should
one.
keep the powder gangers away.
Talk to you with the sun in the background and the dinosaur.
Your
That looks great.
travel's been going all right?
Kate asked me to find you. I'm reuniting the remnants, and they'll need your piloting skills. That's right.
Told you everything about us, did he? Well, it's been a while since I've had my hands on the controls of a vertibird. There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly, count me in. I'll be there. My part of the passphrase is dear.
Dear. How'd you like flying vertibirds for the Enclave?
I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then.
Yeah.
Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sins, anyhow.
I mean, I guess so. That's part of history.
Watch your six out there.
Watch my six.
What's up?
Okay, I will. Watch my six. Alright. Gannon should trigger and say something about her.
Since my mother
Okay.
died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too.
Really?
She flew him out on over a dozen missions, including his last. I've always been close to Daisy. There have been some good men along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. It broke her heart to be grounded.
It was an important part of her life. Why shouldn't she enjoy it?
As screwed up as it sounds, at least she was a part of something.
Holding on to the
Granted, it was
past, I guess, but I'll do
Admittedly,
that.
pretty bad, but it was something. If you spent the first half of your life flying Enclave troopers in a vertibird, I suppose picking over pre-war rocket parts doesn't quite compare.
It is hot. Okay, we'll save it. Next area to go to, we've got 3 other people to talk to. We've got Cannibal Johnson's cave, which is pretty interesting. This guy must be in, well, I actually don't know. Let's walk over here and see if we can find this person here. I don't remember, like, when we streamed. I've been streaming for like 1.5 years now, and I don't remember last summer being this warm in here. I don't know if it's because we have, you know, an added light fixture here, a lamp, so you can see me better, or what, but it is freaking hot. Okay, so we'll walk in here and go that way and see if we can reach this guy. I mean, even with there's only so much having the AC on can do, but it's probably a combination of being it hot outside, having a lamp in here, the door behind me is closed. Probably a combination of all that stuff. But summer is a rough time to stream. Might be a little bit better, you know, if I didn't use a webcam and stuff like that, but you know, part of the appeal is, you know, being able to see me and see my reactions to stuff in the game, so that's why I do it. But it would be nice if the temperatures could go down a little bit. That's why I hate living in Arizona. It's a dry heat, but it gets, you know, feel like an oven sometimes. So we haven't been in here. Let me look around before I talk to this fool. What we got in here? Sexy sleepwear. Apparently he likes to feel sexy while sleeping, you know. Can't blame him for that. This layout is exactly like this is exactly like Doc Mitchell's place. Hey, Online Matella. How high is my speech? Dude, it is like the highest it can go. It's at 100. It's at 100, bruh. All my skills almost at 100. Done. I don't know why I'm checking this man's refrigerator. Dang it, we don't need anything. It's another house. Okay, let's talk to this guy. Never spoken to him in my life.
I got to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving.
He sounds a little bit like Adam West or something. Do you have something against the NCR?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well. Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years.
For years. You need high speech for the Gannon mission? Okay, good. We got it. We got that covered. Peter Baba, what's going on? How are you doing today? What do you do around here?
I don't do anything. I'm retired.
I'm retired. Okay. So what did you do before you retired?
I was a soldier. Why do you even care? I came out here to forget about the past, so quit bringing it up.
Well, buddy, there's going to be a reunion, and that's going to trigger so much for you. As I hit my mic again. Arcade and I were looking for you. We're gathering the remnants.
In a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries?
Maybe. There isn't anyone else around with your equipment and expertise. Your advanced level of tech would be useful in settling things between the NCR and the Legion. Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah.
Is that right? The million-dollar question is, who exactly are we settling?
Do you have a preference?
I wouldn't mind cutting down a few platoons of NCR troopers with my old Gatling laser.
I don't want to... No, we need to take down Legion. I want to help Legion defeat the NCR. Lie. We'll see. I guess we can lie? Are you coming to this thing or what?
Oh, I'll come. But depending on the plan, I might not be staying. Keep that in mind.
He's a stubborn old man.
Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is remember.
You're doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. This is our last day of Fallout New Vegas. We've played this game on stream for almost 8 weeks now. We're up to 97 hours, and I can't wait. Can't wait to see how it all ends. Sorry for not so good English. You're from Germany. Nice, man. Well, welcome. We have a couple of other viewers that are from Germany as well, so I don't know what it is, but, you know, we've got quite a bit of viewers from Germany, so it's good. We like Germany. Germany's awesome. What did you do when you were with the Enclave?
Heavy weapons trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero.
Alright then. Alright. So, let's leave this guy's house. So right now we're gathering people for Gannon's companion quest for now.
Never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left.
He definitely is bitter for sure. Definitely is bitter. You were searching for New Vegas, and there aren't any German streamers, so you found my stream. Well, thank you for choosing our channel here. We appreciate it. Always welcoming new viewers. You think Fallout 3 or New Vegas is better? Well, I'll tell you what. We've played through all of the Fallout games. We've played through Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout 3. We're still playing through New Vegas, so I think when I beat New Vegas today, I think I will probably talk a little bit about which of those Fallouts I enjoyed more or liked better or whatever. So probably say that around the end of the stream. You got the third one, but sometimes it's hard. Yeah, it can be, especially if you're not prepared for some of the things at hand. But are you playing on a harder difficulty or playing on normal, or what are we talking here? A man should know when to let it go.
It's been decades, you know? By now, he's been out of the Enclave longer than he was in. Most people know when to hang it up and start over. But not Moreno.
But not Moreno. And for all you Fallout fans, we got the Vault Boy shirt on today. I don't know why. I like showing it off. If this mic wasn't here, you'd be able to see it, but anyways. Alright. So we've got 2 more people to convince for Gannon's quest for the Remnants reunion. Judah Kreger. So I guess we'll go there. Let's go travel there. We'll travel there and then go to Hannibal Johnson's cave, which sounds really weird.
Words. Won't be long before the Legion and NCR butt heads over Hoover Dam.
Oh, it's this old man. Okay. Alright. Well, I wanted to talk to you, sir.
You don't strike me as someone down on their luck. What brings you to Westside?
How long have you lived in Westside?
Couple of years now. I was a trader for a while, but got tired of all the walking. Westside was a good place to settle down as any.
What do you do in Westside?
I help tend the crops, stand watch for fiends, and generally help keep things civilized.
The fights aren't really hard. You play on normal? Okay. Played Skyrim, and that's pretty much the same. Yeah, a lot of people say that Fallout 3 and New Vegas are very similar to the Elder Scrolls games, except instead of post-apocalyptic, it's, you know, medieval and all that. Everywhere the roads are destroyed and you can't go anywhere without getting shot by raiders. Yeah, it's a little tough when you start out. I don't know if you're starting out or if you're pretty far into the game, but I remember
our community grows.
I remember it being a little tough as well. Sometimes you can get confused. I know I got confused when I was trying to figure out how to get into, you know, like parts of the city and like the sewers and stuff like that. It was super confusing. Peter Baba, thank you so much for the follow, man. Really do appreciate it. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the community. Good to have you here. Okay. I'm gathering the remnants.
Hello, Arcade. Making some new friends, are you? Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us?
You'll be the element of surprise.
Swooping in on a vertibird, guns blazing? Haven't done that in years, but all right, I'm in. None of this means a thing if the rest of the group doesn't show up, though. Oh, and you'll need my part of the passphrase to get into the bunker. Navarro.
Navarro. Yeah, let's ask this guy. Tell me about the old days with the Enclave.
I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro.
Fallout 2 events, man.
Nobody left except us remnants.
What happened at the Enclave oil rig and Navarro?
Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region.
Okay. Tell me more about your former squad.
I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary.
Okay, all right.
Uh-huh.
We'll see you there at the reunion, bud.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years.
Really?
And with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him.
They're loyal to you, too.
Sometimes I wonder how much of my father they see in me. They went through a lot together, but my family went through it too. I'm glad they've watched out for me all these years. Maybe someday I can return the favor.
We will, Gannon. We'll be able to do that. Alright, so the last area that we need to go to is Hannibal Johnson's cave. So we'll try and walk over there and see if we can find it. I'm sure there's going to be geckos right here. What do we got? I'm only level 6. And for example, I had the mission to get in the underground, the metro. Then I had only 1 TP and had no stim packs and food. So you went out and to get some food and stim packs in Megaton, but you can't find the entrance. It's on the map, but I can't reach it. The entrance of Megaton? I think there's a robot greeter that's outside, and if you can find the robot greeter, the entrance is like right next to him. So you can definitely try and do that. Definitely the metro area is pretty confusing. I was confused a bit on my first playthrough with that. But you'll eventually get it down, and it seems like you're pretty early on in the game, so you know, hopefully things will start getting a little bit easier for you. Megaton is a place that we went to a lot of times. Megaton is the best. Gotta love that one girl. What's her name? Moira. Moira. Oh, not the entrance of Megaton. Oh, okay. I read that wrong then. You can't find the entrance to the metro. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I guess it depends on where you're trying to go through Megaton. You can't really go through the city. Yeah, you have to kind of zone into, like, if you want to get to somewhere in the city, usually you have to zone in through a couple of different areas in order to get there. It's not like you just like go through the city. There's things that there's like paths that are blocked, and you have to go through other things. It's a little confusing, so I would maybe suggest maybe you know, depending on like where specifically you want to go, maybe type that in on Google and see if anything pops up, or go to the wiki. Usually the wiki will tell you how to get there. Definitely try those things. It's been a while since we played it, so I don't really know off the top of my head. I know that it is confusing though. Cannibal Johnson. Are you actually a cannibal, sir?
Well, it's about damn time. What took you... Oh.
You were expecting someone else?
I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now.
Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Are you a cannibal? Yeah.
Ha! I'm not saying. It's part of my mystique, after all.
Sounds like there's an interesting story behind it, we'll say that. We're thinking about buying New Vegas. Seems to be more Don't know the English word. You can see where you're walking. Oh, you mean like more open world? Because definitely the Fallout 3 is, you know, not as open as, you know, the desert is. But yeah, more in the desert, not in the cities. Yeah. Well, you don't spend too much time having to go into the cities and stuff like that. You do have to go in there, but I think besides the city, it's pretty open. Even with, you know, buildings being down and no paths and stuff like that. It's totally up to you. But I definitely think Fallout 3 is a pretty good game. And if you like Fallout 3, you'll like New Vegas because they're basically the same game. But, you know, I would say stick with it, but it's totally up to you. You know, they're both enjoyable games.
The truth of it is that I did cut out a raider's heart, but only took a bite to mess with his buddies.
Ah.
They had me surrounded, and I went with the first thing that came to mind. Some ran, and the rest were startled just long enough.
You live out here by yourself?
Sure do. Had a wife for a while. Tribal girl.
Oh.
Really pretty eyes. But she's been gone a long time now.
Okay. You sound like you're eager to die.
There's a twitch in my trigger finger.
Twitch!
I've lost my eagle eyes, and the other day I could have sworn I heard Sergeant Dornan chewing me out. I'm old, and I'm starting to feel it. It's not pleasant, especially when you know your mind's slipping away. And we all gotta go sometime. But I was hoping for something a little more heroic.
Who's Sergeant Dornan?
He was a drill instructor I knew. He was also the meanest bastard I've ever known. Once he caught this private out of uniform, and old Dornan went off on the most ear-blistering rant known to man. It was inspiring.
When you have a quest or a place where you're going, you have to switch thousands of ways to go there. Yeah, that's the bad thing, but I mean, once you do it a couple of times, you'll get it down and know how to do it. Like I said, if you know the name of the location that you need to go to, you should go to the Fallout wiki, type it in, and I guarantee you there'll probably be something on there that tells you the paths to take to get there, to get to where you want to go. I know I had to do that a couple of times, so definitely check that out if you think it'll help you. Serve in the military?
Yeah. It was a long time ago. Things were better back then.
All right. Join us.
Thought I recognized the fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about then?
He thinks your experience and technology will help resolve the conflict in this region.
Well, now there's an interesting idea. Do a bit of good before we're all dead and forgotten. You can count me in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is
old.
Appropriate, huh?
I wonder what the
if I had to
words
pick
are
anyone
now.
Who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew.
Why worry about it? You don't have to be your father.
I grew up without him. I'll always feel like something is missing from my life, but you're right. It's not like I'm the only kid in the wasteland who's grown up without a dad. Johnson always said my father was a good man. If that's the only thing about me that's like him, that's enough for me.